what the heck is happening over at D&D?
I feel like I'm taking crazy pills!
Welcome to Above the Table. Today we're going to talk about the big elephant in the room, the major changes around D&D that suggest that things aren't that rosy. Now before we dive into today's news, be sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons so we can keep making videos just like this one. It has been a tumultuous year for Dungeons & Dragons. While the launch of D&D's new 5th edition, revised edition, whatever you want to call it, seemed to go well, with Wizards talking about strong record-breaking sales for the new books, the D&D design team has been hit with a series of major departures. Jeremy Crawford and Chris Perkins both left D&D after decades with the company, saying that the launch of the new Quasi edition was a good stepping off point. Both of them announced yesterday that they're heading to Darrington Press to work on Daggerheart and other new TTRPG products, giving Darrington a major push as a potential competitor for Dungeons & Dragons and Wizards of the Coast. Project Sigil also flopped, with the expensive multi-year project dying with a gentle fart shortly after it launched. Dozens of developers were laid off, with a skeleton crew remaining to keep the service available to anyone who may be using it, and it doesn't sound like many people are using it whatsoever. Topping things off is the announcement that D&D is losing one of its remaining guideposts, with Jess Lanzillo announcing that she's also stepping away from Wizards of the Coast. There also appeared to be some more layoffs happening at Wizards, with Todd Kenreck, the video producer for the D&D studio and one of the faces for the D&D brand, announcing that he had been laid off from Wizards of the Coast yesterday. Now, we know that the D&D studio has long been in a weird position at Wizards of the Coast. They're a tabletop game maker at a company that's increasingly looking to grow their digital platform. Look at how Sigil was supposed to be a part of their major plans for D&D moving forward, even though it had nothing to do with the actual tabletop RPG. Their CEO is pushing for AI usage, even though the fan base and the developers and the designers themselves clearly want nothing to do with it. And now the folks who have stewarded the game have left and were immediately snatched away by a former partner turned potential contender in the space. Now, to be clear, this could just be a bunch of weird timing and shuffling of positions. Major companies go through turnover all the time, and it could be that Perkins, Crawford, and Lanzillo all just saw other opportunities in front of them that they just couldn't pass up. None of this means that D&D is definitely in trouble. But as someone who's covered the game for the better part of the last decade, this is the most precarious D&D has been in a while, since the dawn of 5th edition at the very least. The next few months are going to be very interesting for the game. There's a couple of open positions, and I'm very curious how they're going to fill, and how they fill those positions, who ends up coming into them, and what direction D&D goes in could be critical to the game's future. So what do you think about the recent turmoil in the D&D studio? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons.